This is unbelievable, Chargers fans. The Los Angeles Chargers have just pulled off another upset that has the entire NFL on edge. We're talking about a bold move that could completely change the course of the season and put our team in an absolute lead in the AFC, and you already know. Here on our channel, the information comes firsthand, without any fuss, and with all the details you need to understand every move our Bolts make. But before we dive into this exclusive news, I'll give you a quick reminder. If you're new here, subscribe now and turn on the notification bell. This way, you'll ensure no Chargers bombshell slips by. Everything comes straight to you, fast, and with complete analysis. Now hold on tight, because what I'm about to reveal will surprise even the most confident fans. The Chargers' future may be about to change, and you'll understand with me, step by step, this explosive news that just shook Los Angeles. Another week, another stellar performance from a Chargers player. But this time, it wasn't just any performance. Derwin James, the captain and driving force behind the defense, made his name in NFL history. Last Sunday, in the dramatic 23-20 victory over the Denver Broncos, the All-Pro safety recorded 12 tackles, 4 tackles for loss, and a decisive sack in overtime. With this performance, James was named AFC Defensive Player of the Week, an unprecedented award for him in this category, but one that crowns years of consistency and leadership, and it doesn't stop there. He became only the 6th NFL player since 2008 to record, in a single game, at least 10 solo tackles, 1 sack, and 4 tackles for loss. For those who doubted the capabilities of Jim Harbaugh's defense, the answer came on the field. Intensity, discipline, and the ability to decide big games. But Derwin isn't alone in this journey. Linebacker Daiyan Henley has been another incredible standout. It was his sack on Patrick Mahomes that changed the course of the victory against the Chiefs, and he also made the interception and 11-yard sack on Geno Smith on Monday Night Football against the Raiders. Henley is becoming the perfect complementary piece to James, forming a defense that is already starting to scare quarterbacks across the league. And most exciting, in the next game, the Chargers face the Giants, led by rookie Jackson Dart, who will make his NFL starting debut. The combination of James and Henley against a rookie could be explosive and even cruel. Will the youngster handle the pressure, or will the Chargers take advantage to show that their defense is, in fact, elite? And here comes the first twist in our story. While on the one hand, the defense is making history, on the other, the front office is eyeing something even bigger. Because stopping attacks is great, but what about when the defensive line lacks depth? That's when a movement arises behind the scenes that could change everything. Even with a perfect 3-0 record, the Chargers know they can't afford to sit back. The fans are excited, the mood in Los Angeles is one of confidence, but the coaching staff and management are fully aware that the NFL doesn't forgive mistakes. And the reason for this concern has a name and weight: Khalil Mack. The veteran, a key player in the pass rush, is sidelined, and his absence has an immediate impact. Without him, the pressure on the opposing quarterback loses intensity, and in a conference packed with offensive monsters like Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, and even Josh Allen, this drop in performance could prove costly in decisive moments. Therefore, the Chargers front office is already buzzing. The Chargers front office has begun monitoring the trade market in search of a major reinforcement for the front seven, and one name in particular has begun to circulate heavily: Kayvon Thibodeaux of the New York Giants. For many, it might sound like a distant dream, but the circumstances of the season make this possibility much more real than one might imagine. The Giants are 0-3, having had a disastrous start to the season, and now they're betting on Jackson Dart, a rookie quarterback who will be starting his first full season as a starter. When a team goes into a rebuild, it's common for star players to become bargaining chips to speed up the process, and Thibodeaux, talented as he is, could end up in that equation, and his numbers speak for themselves. In just 3 games, he's already racked up 1.5 sacks and 12 pressures. We're talking about a young, explosive player with a sky-high ceiling and a guaranteed contract through 2026, meaning any team that invests in him will have stability and the potential to develop a true terror against quarterbacks. The detail is that New York recently bolstered its defensive line with the arrival of draft pick Abdul Carter, as well as a multi-million-dollar extension for Brian Burns. This scenario leaves Thibodeaux as the outside man in the scheme, paving the way for a trade. Analysts are already beginning to speculate on the price. A 3rd-round pick could be enough, with the possibility of moving up to the 2nd depending on the player's performance in Los Angeles. For a young, already productive defender with elite potential, it's a more than fair investment. And to make things even more interesting, the Chargers will have the chance to observe him closely in Week 4 against the Giants. A true showcase, a field test that could determine the course of negotiations, but nothing will be easy. The competition promises to be tough. Teams like the San Francisco 49ers and Baltimore Ravens are also monitoring the situation closely and could enter the fray. And the Chargers know that if they truly want to make their Super Bowl dream a reality, they need to be aggressive and not let this opportunity slip away. Just remember the recent example of the Philadelphia Eagles. It was precisely the depth and rotation of the defensive line that made all the difference in their run to the Super Bowl. Now, fan, imagine this scene: Derwin James, Daiyan Henley, and perhaps Kayvon Thibodeaux leading the defense. A trio capable of turning any opposing offense into a nightmare. But wait, because the story doesn't end there. If the defense could gain an elite reinforcement, the offense could also be about to receive an explosive name, the kind that changes the face of an entire season. And that's exactly what we're going to reveal next. The Chargers are flying high this season, but not everything is rosy in Los Angeles. The team opened with 3 wins, showing defensive strength and balance on offense, but news dropped like a bombshell on the offensive plan: Najee Harris's injury. The absence of the number 2 running back profoundly affected the strategy of Jim Harbaugh and Greg Roman, 2 coaches who built their careers on physical, dominant running attacks capable of wearing down opponents from start to finish. Without Harris, the idea of imposing this identity was compromised. The weight of responsibility fell almost entirely on the shoulders of rookie Omarion Hampton. And yes, Hampton has already shown signs of being a future star. He runs aggressively, catches passes with confidence, and displays the energy only a rookie can bring. But the truth is, he still lacks the experience necessary to carry the workload of a backfield alone in a long and demanding NFL season. Harbaugh knows this, as does Roman, and the front office quickly realized it needed to act before it was too late. It's in this scenario that a big name began to gain traction behind the scenes: Alvin Kamara. Yes, we're talking about one of the most talented and versatile running backs of the last decade. At 30, he's still explosive, dangerous, both running and catching passes, and has already racked up 60 touches in just 3 games this season. Even with his age advancing for the position, Kamara remains a nightmare for any defense. And external factors also play in the Chargers' favor. The New Orleans Saints are off to a 0-3 start, sinking in the standings, and with no prospect of a playoff berth in 2025. It's exactly the kind of situation that paves the way for bold moves before the trade deadline. New Orleans needs to rebuild, and to do so, releasing expensive veterans is almost a must. Kamara is under contract through 2026, but with a hefty $18 million salary cap hit for next year. For the Saints, trading the star now means freeing up cap space and accelerating the re-signing process. For the Chargers, it would be a chance to add a piece that can transform an already explosive offense into something nearly unstoppable. The price tag isn't considered outrageous. Analysts point out that a 3rd-round pick would be enough to seal the deal. For some, giving up that draft capital may seem steep. But remember, we're talking about forming a legendary backfield duo in the classic thunder and lightning style. Hampton with the strength and power, Kamara with the agility and explosiveness. It would be the perfect combination to balance Justin Herbert's offense. And the argument is clear. This season needs to be treated as a true all-in. The NFL is a cruel league, where title windows open and close in a matter of years, sometimes even months. So stay glued to our channel, because any move could explode at any moment, and you'll want to know before anyone else. Want to stay ahead of the curve and follow everything in real time? Then like, subscribe, and hit the bell, because our channel will bring you every behind-the-scenes scoop, every rumor, and every breaking news story about the Chargers.